Stand fast, good fate to his hanging. Make the rope of his destiny our table, for our own doth little advantage. If he be not born to be hanged, then our case is miserable.
Young lads! Increase engine of number 4! This howl is a louder than our station arrow, weather yet again! Do you mind to point here? Do you mind to sink?
The cops in luck work you falling, collapsing as you charitable dog!
Work you then!
Hang! What's the incident? Where's Nathan? There's the big drowned in the bow parts.
I warrant him for drowning, though the ship be no stronger than a nutshell and as leaky as an unstatched wench.
No, lads! Bring her 2 points of half! Back on main course now!
All off!
The king of Prince of prayers, and let a system for our cases as theirs.
Run out of patience!
Young me, thinking of my life like crumpets. This boy took the Coulsdon, found my like drowning. Yes, it's 10 times.
He'll be hanged yet. So, don't know every drop of water swear against it. I came but widest to guard him.
So sick with the king.
Please take leave of him!
Now would I give 1,000 furlongs at sea for an acre of barren ground. The will's above me done, but I would fain die a dry death.
If by your art, my dearest father, you have put the wild waters in this fraught and lay them, the sky, it seems, would pour down stinking pitch, but that the sea, mounting to the welkin's cheek, dashes the fire out. Oh, I have suffered with those that I saw suffer. A brave vessel who had no doubt some noble creature in her, dashed all to pieces. Oh, the cry did knock against my very heart. Poor souls, they perished. Had I been any god of power, I would have sunk the sea within the earth, or ere it would the good ship so have swallowed and the fraughting souls within her.
Be collected. No more amazing. Tell your piteous heart. There's no harm done.
Oh, woe the day.
No harm. I have done nothing, but in care of thee, my dear one, thee, my daughter, that art ignorant of what thou art, not knowing whence I am, or that I am more better than Prospero, master of a full, poor cell, and thy no greater father.
More to know to never meddle with my thoughts.
'Tis time I did inform thee further. Lend thy hand, pluck my magic garments from me. So, lie there, my art. Wipe thou thine eye. Have comfort. The direful spectacle of the wreck, which touched the very virtue of compassion in me, I have, by such provision in my art, so safely ordered, that there is no soul, no, not so much perdition as one hair betid to any creature in the vessel, which thou heardst cry, which thou sawest sing. Sit down, for now thou must know further.
You have often begun to tell me what I am, but stopped and left me to a bootless inquisition, concluding, stay, not yet.
The hour's now come. The very minute bids thee ope thine ear. Obey, and be attentive. Canst thou remember a time, before we came unto this cell? I do not think thou canst, for then thou wast not out 3 years old.
Certainly, sir, I can.
By what? By any other house or person? Of anything the image tell me, that hath kept with thy remembrance?
'Tis far off, and rather like a dream than an assurance that my remembrance warrants. Had I not 4 or 5 women once who tended me?
Thou hadst, Miranda, and more. But how is it this lives in thy mind? What seest thou else in the dark backward and abysm of time? If aught thou can remember ere thou camest here, how thou camest here thou mayest.
But that I do not.
12 years since, Miranda. 12 years since, thy father was the Duke of Milan and a prince of power.
Sir, are you not my father?
Thy mother was a piece of virtue, and she said, thou wast my daughter, and thy father was Duke of Milan. His only heir, a princess, no worse issue.
Oh, the heavens! What foul play had we that we came from thence? Or blessed was we did?
Both, my girl. By foul play, as thou sayest, we were heaved thence, but blessedly hope hither.
Oh, my heart bleeds to think of the teen that I have turned to you, just from my remembrance. Please you further.
My brother and thy uncle called Antonio. I pray thee mark me that a brother should be so perfidious. He, who next thyself of all the world I love, and to him put the manage of my state, as at that time, through all the signores, it was the first, and Prospero, the prime duke, being so reputed in dignity, and for the liberal arts without a parallel. These being all my study, the government I cast upon my brother, and to my state grew stranger, being transported and wrapped in secret studies. Thy false uncle, dost thou attend me?
Sir, most heedfully.
Being once perfected how to grant suits and how to deny them, who to advance and who to trash for overtopping, set every heart in the state to what tune pleased his ear, and now he was the ivy that hid my princely trunk and sucked my verdure out on it. Thou attendest not.
Oh, good sir, I do.
Prithee mark me. I thus neglecting worldly ends, all dedicated to closeness and the bettering of my mind. In my false brother await an evil nature, and my trust, like a good parent, did beget of him a falsehood in its country as great as my trust was, which indeed knew no limit, a confidence sun's bound. He did believe he was indeed the Duke, out of the substitution, and executing the outward face of royalty with all prerogative, hence his ambition growing. Dost thou hear?
Your tale, sir, would cure deafness.
To have no screen between this part he played and him he played it for, he needs will be absolute Milan. Me, poor man, my library was dukedom large enough. Of temporal royalties he thinks me now incapable. Confederates, so dry he was for sway, with the king of Naples. To do him homage, give him annual tribute, subject his coronet to his crown, and bend the dukedom yet unbowed. Alas, poor Milan, to most ignoble stooping.
Oh, the heavens!
Mark but his condition in the event, then say, if this might be a brother.
I should sin to think but nobly of my grandmother. Good wombs have borne bad sons.
Now the condition. This king of Naples, being to me an enemy inveterate, hearkens my brother's suit, which was in lieu of the premises of homage, and I know not how much tribute. He should presently extirpate me and mine out of the duke, and confer fair Milan with all the honours on my brother. Whereon a treacherous army led, one midnight fated to the purpose, did Antonio open the gates of Milan, and in the dead of darkness, ministers for the purpose, hurried thence me and thy crying self.
Wherefore did they not by tower destroy us?
Dear, they durst not. So dear the love my people bore me, nor set a mark so bloody on this business, but with colours fairer painted their foul ends. In few, they hurried us aboard a bark, bore us some leagues out to sea, where they prepared a rotten carcass of a boat, not rigged, nor tackle, sail, nor mast. The very rats instinctively had quit it, and there they hoist us, to cry to the sea that roared to us, to sigh to the winds, whose pity sighing back again, did us but loving wrong.
Alack, what trouble was I then to you?
Oh, a cherubim thou wast that did preserve me, for thou didst smile, infuse it with a fortitude from heaven, when I have decked the sea with drops full salt under my burden groaned, which raised in me an undergoing stomach to bear up against what should ensue.
Well, how came we ashore?
By providence divine. Some food we had and some fresh water that a noble Neapolitan, Gonzalo, out of his charity, being then appointed master of this design, had given us with rich garments, linens, stuffs, and necessaries, which since have studied much. So of his goodness, knowing I love my books, he furnished from mine own library with volumes I prize above my dukedom.
Would I but ever see that man?
Now I arise. Sit still. And hear the last of our sea sorrow. Here in this island we arrive. And here have I, thy schoolmaster, more profit made thee than other princess can, having more time for vainer hours, and tutors not so careful.
Heaven thank you for it. And now I pray you, sir, for still 'tis beating in my mind your reason for raising this sea storm.
Know thus far forth, by accident most strange, bountiful fortune, now my dear lady, hath mine enemies brought to this shore, and by my prescience I find my zenith doth depend upon a most auspicious star, whose influence, if I court not but omit, my fortunes will ever after droop. Here cease more questions. Thou art inclined to sleep. It is a good dullness, and give it way. I know thou canst not choose. Come away, my servant. Come. I am ready now. Approach my Ariel, come.
All hail, great master, brave sir, hail. I come to answer thy best pleasure, be it to fly, to swim, to dive into the fire, to ride on the curled clouds, to thy strong bidding task, Ariel, and all her quality.
Hast thou, spirit, performed to point the tempest that I bade thee?
To every article. I boarded the king's ship, now on the beak, now on the waist, the deck, in every cabin I flamed amazement. Sometime I divide and burn in many places. On the topmast, the yards and bowsprit would I flame distinctly, and then meet and join. Jones lightning, the precursors of the dreadful thunderclaps, more momentary and sight outrunning were not. The fire and cracks of sulphurous roaring, the most mighty Neptune seemed to besiege and make his bold waves tremble, yea, his dread trident shake.
This was bravely done. Who was so firm, so constant, that this coil would not infect their reason?
Not a soul without a fever of the mad, but played some tricks of desperation. All but the mariners plunged into the foaming brine and quit the vessel. Then, all afire with me, the king's son Ferdinand, with hair upstarting then like reeds, not hair, was the first man that leapt, cried, "Hell is empty, and all the devils are here!"
That's my spirit. But was not this nigh shore?
Close by, my master.
But are they Ariels safe?
Not a hair perished. On their sustaining garments not a blemish, but fresher than before. And as thou badest me, in troops I have dispersed them about this isle. The king's son have I landed by himself, whom I left cooling the air with sighs in an odd angle of the island, and sitting, his arms in this sad knot.
Of the king's ship, the mariners, say how thou hast disposed, and all the rest of the fleet.
Safely in harbour is the king's ship, in the deep nook where once thou calledst me up at midnight to fetch dew from the still vexed Bermudas. There she's hid. All the mariners under hatches stowed, who with a charm joined to their suffered labour I have left asleep. And as for the rest of the fleet, who I dispersed, they all have met again, and are upon the Mediterranean float, bound sadly home for Naples, supposing that they saw the king's ship wrecked and his great person perish.
Ariel, thy charge exactly is performed. But there's more work. What's the time of day?
'Tis past the mid-season.
At least 2 glasses. The time 'twixt 6 and now must by us both be spent most preciously.
Is there more toil? Since thou dost give me pains, let me remember thee what thou hast promised, which is not yet performed me.
How now? Moody? What is't thou canst demand?
My liberty.
Before the time be out? No more.
I prithee remember, I have done thee worthy service, told thee no lies, made no mistakings, served without grudge or grumblings. Thou did promise to bait me a full year.
Dost thou forget? From what torment I did free thee?
No.
Thou dost, and think'st it much to tread upon the ooze of the salt deep, to run upon the sharp wind of the north, to do me business in the veins of the earth when it is baked with frost.
I do not, sir.
Thou liest, malignant thing! Hast thou forgot the foul witch Cyclops, who with age and envy was grown into a hoop? Hast thou forgot her?
No, sir.
Thou hast. Where was she born? Speak, tell me.
Sir, in Algiers.
Oh, was she so? I must months in a month recount what thou hast been, which thou forgett'st. This damned witch Cyclops, for mischiefs manifold, and sorceries terrible to enter human hearing. From Algiers, thou knowest, was banished for one thing she did. They would not take her life. Is not this true?
Aye, sir.
This blue-eyed hag was hither brought with child, and here was left by the sailors. Then wast thou my slave, as thou reportst thyself, her servant. And for thou wast a spirit too delicate to act her earthy and abhorred commands, refusing her grand hests, she did confine thee, by help of her more potent ministers, in her unmitigable rage, into a cloven pine, within which rift, imprisoned, thou didst painfully remain 12 years, within which space she died, and left thee there, where thou didst went thy groans as fast as mill wheels strike. Then was this island, save for the son that she did litter here, a freckled whelp, hag-born, not honoured with a human shape.
Yes, Caliban, her son.
Dull thing, I say so. He, that Caliban, whom now I keep in service. Thou best knowest what a torment I did find thee in. Thy groans did make the wolves howl, and penetrate the breasts of ever-angry bears. It was a torment to lay upon the damned, which Sycorax could not again undo. It was mine art, when I arrived and heard thee, that made gape the pine, and let thee out.
I thank thee, master.
If thou more murmurest, I will rend an oak, and peg thee in his knotty entrails, till thou hast howled away 12 winters.
Oh, pardon, master. I will be correspondent to command and do my spriting gently.
Do so. And after 2 days, I will discharge you.
Oh, that's my noble master. What shall I do? Say what? What shall I do?
Go. Make thyself like a nymph of the sea. Be subject to no sight but thine and mine, invisible to every eyeball else. Go, take this shape, and hither come in it. Go hence with diligence. Awake, dear heart, awake. Thou hast slept well, awake.
The strangeness of your story put heaviness in me.
Shake it off. Come, we'll visit Caliban, my slave, that never yields us kind answer.
'Tis a villain, sir, I do not love to look on.
But as 'tis, we cannot miss him. For he does make our fire, fetch in our wood, and serves in offices that profit us. What ho! Slave! Caliban, thou earth thou, speak!
There's wood enough within.
Come forth, I say, there's other business for thee. Come, thou tortoise, when? Thine apparition, my quaint Ariel, hark in thine ear.
My lord, it shall be done.
Thou poisonous slave, got by the devil himself upon thy wicked dam, come forth!
As as wicked Jew as ever my mother brushed with raven's feather from unwholesome fen. Drop on you both! The southwest blow on ye, and blister you all over.
For this tonight, be sure, thou shalt have cramps, side stitches shall pent thy breath up. Urchins shall, for that last of the night they may work all exercise on thee. Thou shalt be pinched as thick as honeycomb, each pinch more stinging than the bees that made them.
I must eat my dinner. This island's mine by Cyprus, my mother, which thou takest from me. When thou camest first, thou strokest me and made much of me. Would give me water with berries in it, and teach me how to name the bigger light and how the less that burn by day and night. Then I loved thee, and showed thee all the qualities of the island, the fresh springs, the brine pits, the barren place and fertile. Cursed be I that I did so! All the charms of Cyrax, toads, beetles, bats, light on you! For I am all the subjects that you have, which first was mine own king, and here you stay me in this hard rock, whilst you do keep from me the rest of the island.
Thou most lying slave, whom stripes may move, not kindness, I have used thee, filth as thou art, with human care, lodged thee in mine own cell, till thou didst seek to violate the honour of my child.
Oh, oh, would had been done. Thou didst prevent me. I had peopled else the island with cannibals.
A horrid slave, which any prince of goodness will not take, being capable of all ill. I pitied thee, took pains to make thee speak, taught thee each hour one thing or other, and when thou didst not, savage, know thy own meaning, but wouldst gabble like a thing most brutish, I endowed thy purposes with words which made them known, but thy vile race, though thou didst learn that in which good natures could not abide to be with, therefore wast thou deservedly confined into this rock, who hadst deserved more than a prison.
You taught me language, and my profitant is, I know how to curse. The red plague rid you for learning me your language.
Hagseed, hence, fetch us in fuel, and be quick thou best to answer other business. Shrugg'st thou malice, if thou neglect'st, or dost unwillingly what I command? I'll rack thy body with old cramps, fill thy bones with aches, and make thee roar, that beasts shall tremble at thy din.
No, pray thee, I must obey. His art is of such power, it would control my damned god Setibos, and make a vassal of him.
So slave, hence.
Sitting on a bank, weeping again the king, my father's wreck, This music crept by me upon the waters, allaying both their fury and my passion with its sweet air. Thence I have followed it. It hath drawn me rather. 'Tis gone. No, it begins again.
Full fathom fried thy father lies, of his bones are coral made. Those are pearls that were his eyes, nothing of him that doth fade, but doth suffer a sea change into something rich and strange. Seen him Sally ring his knell, ding dong, hark, now I hear them ding dong bell.
This ditty does remember my drowned father. This is no mortal business, nor no sound that the earth owes. I hear it now above me.
The fringed curtains of thine eyes advance. Say what thou seest yon.
What is it? A spirit? Lord, how it looks about. Believe me, sir, it carries a brave form, but 'tis a spirit.
No. It eats and sleeps, and hath such senses as we have such. This gallant thou seest was in the wreck, and but he's something stained with grief that's beauty's canker. Thou mightst call him a goodly person. He hath lost his fellows, and strays about to find him.
I might call him a thing divine, for nothing natural ever saw so noble.
It goes on, I see, as my soul prompts it. Spirit finds, I'll free thee in 2 days for this.
Most sure the goddess on whom these ends attend. Vouchsafe, my friend, may know if you remain upon this island, and some good instruction give how I may bear me here. My prime request, which I do last pronounce, is, oh, you wonder, be you maid or not?
No wonder, sir, but certainly a maid.
My language, heavens, I am the best to speak this speech if I but where it is spoken.
How? The best. What wert thou if the King of Naples heard thee?
A single thing, as I am now, in wonder to hear you speak of Naples. He does him, and that he does I weep. Myself and Naples, with my own eyes, never since at ebb, beheld the king, my father, wrecked.
Alack for mercy!
Yes, faith, and all his lords. The Duke of Milan, his brave son, being twain.
The Duke of Milan and his more braver daughter could control thee, if now 'twere fit to do it. At first sight they had changed eyes. Delicate area, I'll set thee free for this. A word, good sir. I fear you have done yourself some wrong. A word.
Why speaks my father so ungently? This is the third man that e'er I saw, the first that e'er I sighed for. Pity move my father to be inclined my way.
Oh, with the Virgin, and your affection not gone forth, I'll make you the Queen of Naples.
Soft, sir. One word more. They are both in either's power. But this swift business I must uneasy make, lest too light winning make the prize light. One word more, sir. I charge thee that thou attend me. Thou dost here usurp the name thou owest not, and hast set thyself upon this island as a spy to win it from me, the lord of it.
No, as I am a man.
There's nothing ill can dwell in such a temple. If the ill spirit have so fair a house, good things will strive to dwell with it.
Follow, speak not you for him, he's a traitor. Come, I'll manacle thy neck and feet together. Sea water shalt thou drink, thy food shall be the fresh brook mussels, withered roots and husks, wherein the acorn cradled. Follow.
No, I will resist such entertainment till mine enemy has more power.
Oh, dear father, make not too rash a trial of him, for he's gentle and not fearful.
What? I say my foot, my tutor. Put thy sword up, traitor, that makes a show, but dares not strike. Thy conscience is so possessed with guilt. Come from thy ward, for I can here disarm thee with this stick and make thy weapon drop.
Beseech you, father.
Hence, hang not on my garments!
Sir, have pity. I'll be his surety.
Silence! One word more will make thee chide thee, if not hate thee. What? An advocate for an impostor? Hush. Thou thinkst there are no more such shapes as he, having seen but him and Caliban? Foolish wench. To the most of men, this is a Caliban, and they to him are angels.
My affections then are most humble. I have no ambition to see a goodlier man.
Come on, obey. Thy nerves are in their infancy again, and have no vigour in them.
So they are. My spirits, as in a dream, are all bound up. My father's loss, the weakness which I feel, the wreck of all my friends, and all this man's threats, to whom I am subdued, are but light to me. If through my prison but once a day I may spy this maid, all corners else of the earth let liberty make use of, space enough that I in such a prison.
It works. Follow. Thou hast done well in my area. Come on. Hark what thou shalt else do me.
Be of comfort. My father's a better nature, sir, than he appears by speech. This is a one ticket and a home from him.
Thou shalt be as free as the mountain winds, but then do exactly all points of my command.
To the syllable.
Come, follow. Speak not you for him.
Beseech you, sir. Be merry. You have cause, as have we all, of joy, for our escape is much beyond our loss. Our hint of woe is common. Every day some sailor's wife, the masters of some merchant, and the merchant have just our theme of woe. But for the miracle, I mean our preservation, well, few in millions can speak like us. Then wisely, good sir, weigh our sorrow with our comfort.
Do I prithee peace?
He receives comfort like cold porridge.
The visitor wants to give him over, so.
Look, he's winding up the watch of his wit. By and by, it will strike.
Sir,
One tell.
when every grief is entertained that's offered, comes to the entertainer
$1.
dollar, and I can't say indeed. You've spoken truer than you propose.
You've taken it wiselier than I meant you should.
Therefore, my lord,
Fine. What a spendthrift is he of his tongue?
Prithee, spare.
well, I have finished. But yet,
You will be talking.
Which? Of he or Adriana? For a good wager. First begins to crow.
The old cock.
The cockerel?
Dove. The wager.
A laughter.
A match.
No, this island seems to be desert.
So you're paid.
Uninhabitable, almost inaccessible.
Yet.
Yet,
Could not mist.
it must needs be of subtle, tender, and delicate temperance.
Temperance was a delicate wench.
Aye, and as subtle as she most learnedly delivered.
In the air, it breathes upon us here most sweetly.
As if it had lungs. And rotten ones.
Or as to a perfumed by a fen.
here is everything advantageous to life.
True. Say it means to live.
Of that there's none or little.
How lush and lusty the grass is. How green.
The ground indeed is tawny.
With an eye of green in it.
But the rarity of it is, which is indeed almost beyond credit,
As many vouched rarities are.
that our garments, being as they were drenched in the sea, hold, well, notwithstanding their freshness and gloss, being rather new dyed than stained with salt water.
If but one of his pockets could speak, he did not say he lies.
Aye, or very falsely pocket up his report.
Methinks our garments are now as fresh as when first we put them on in Afric, at the marriage of the king's fair daughter Clarabel to the king of Tunis.
'Twas a sweet marriage. We prosper well in our return.
Tunis was never graced before with such a parable to their queen.
Not since widow Dio's time.
Widow? A pops are that. How come that widow in? Widow Dido?
What if he had said widower Aeneas too? Good Lord, how you take it?
And widow Dido, you made me study this. She was carpet,
This Tunis, madam, was Carthage.
Carthage?
I assure you, Carthage.
His word is more than a miraculous harp.
He hath raised the walls and the houses too.
What impossible matter will he make easy next?
I think he will carry this island home in his pocket and give it his son for an apple.
And sowing the kernels of it in the sea, bring forth more islands.
Aye.
Why, in good time.
Sir, we were talking that our garments seem now as fresh as when we were at Tunis, at the marriage of your daughter, who is now queen.
And the rarest that it came there.
Fate, I beseech you, Widow Dido.
Oh, Widow Dido? Aye, Widow Dido.
Is not so, my doublet, as fresh now as the first day I wore it. I mean in a sort.
That sort was well fished for.
When I wore it at your daughter's marriage.
You cram these words into mine ears against the stomach of my sense. Would that I had never married my daughter then. But coming hence, my son is lost. And at my rate, she too. Though being so far from Italy removed, I ne'er again shall see her. Oh, thou, mine heir of Naples and Milan, what strange fish has made his meal on thee?
Sir, he may live. I saw him lead the surges under him and ride upon their backs. He trod the water, his own little he flung aside and breasted the surge most swollen and bottom. His bald head above the contentious wave he kept, and lowered himself with his good arms and lusty stroke to the shore, that all his wave-worn bases bowed as stooping to relieve him, and no doubt he came alive to land.
No, no, he is gone.
Sir, you may thank yourself for this great loss. Thou would not bless our Europe with your daughter, but rather lose her to an African, where she at least is banished from your eye, who hath cause to wet the grief on it.
Prithee, please.
You were kneeled to and importuned otherwise by all of us, and the fair soul herself, weighed between loathness and obedience, at which end of the beam should bow. We have lost your son, I fear forever. Milan and Naples have more widows in them of this business-making than we bring men to comfort them. The fault's your own.
And so is the dearest of the grief.
My lady, Sebastian! The truth you speak reflects some gentleness and time to speak it in. You rub the sore when you should bring the plaster.
Very well.
And most trudgingly.
It is foul weather in the sort, good sir, when you are cloud.
Foul weather.
Very foul.
Had I plantation of this isle, my lord?
Sow it with nettle seed.
Or docks or mallows.
And were king on it? What would I do?
Escape being drunk for want of wine.
In the Commonwealth, I would by contraries execute all things, for no kind of traffic would I admit. No name of magistrate. Letters should not be known. Riches, poverty, and use of service, none. Contract, succession, pawn, bound of land, tilth, vineyard, none. No use of metal or corn, or wine or oil. No occupation, all men idle, all. And women too, but innocent and pure. No sovereignty.
Yet he would be king on it.
The latter end of his commonwealth forgets the beginning.
All things in common nature should produce without sweat or endeavour. Treason, felony, sword, knife, pike, gun, or need of any engine would I not have. But nature should bring forth of its own kind, all fleason, all abundance to feed my innocent people.
No marrying amongst his subjects.
None. Man, all idle, all the knaves.
I would with such perfection govern, sir, to excel the golden age.
Save his majesty!
Long live Gonzalo.
And, do you mark me, sir?
Why, prithee, no more. Thou hast taught nothing to me.
Oh, I do well believe, your highness. And did it minister occasion to these gentlemen, who are of such sensible and nimble minds that they always used to laugh at nothing.
'Twas you we laughed at.
Who in this kind of merry fooling am nothing to you. So you may continue, and laugh at nothing still.
What a blow was there given.
And it had not fallen flat long.
You are gentlemen of brave metal. You lift the moon out of her sphere if you continue for 5 weeks without changing.
We would so, and then go about fowling.
Nay, good my lord, be not angry.
No, I warrant you, I'll not commend to my discretion so weakly. Will laugh me asleep, for I am very...
Go sleep, and hear us.
What? All so soon asleep? Oh, I wish that mine eyes would shut up my thoughts with themselves.
They are inclined to do so.
Please you, sir, do not admit the heavy offer of it. It seldom visits sorrow. When it doth, it is a comforter.
We too, my lord, will guard your person while you take your rest and watch your safety.
Thank you. Wondrous. Heavy.
What strange drowsiness possesses them?
It is the quality of the climate.
Why doth it not then our eyelids sink? I find not myself disposed to sleep.
Nor I. My spirits are nimble. They fell together all as by consent. They dropped us by a thunderstroke. What might, worthy Sebastian? Oh, what might? No more. And yet, methinks I see it in thy face. What magic be? The occasion speaks thee, and my strong imagination sees a crown dropping on thy head.
What, art thou waking?
Do you not hear me speak?
I do, and surely it is sleepy language, and thou speakst out of thy sleep. What is it as thou say? This is a strange repose, to be asleep with eyes wide open, standing, speaking, moving, and yet so fast asleep.
Noble Sebastian, wilt I let thy fortune sleep? Die rather. Winkest whilst thou art waking.
Thou dost snore distinctly. There's meaning in thy snores.
I am more serious than my custom. You must be so too, if heed me. Which to do troubles thee over.
Well, I am standing water.
I'll teach you how to flow.
Do so, to where hereditary sloth instructs me.
Oh, if you but knew how you the purpose cherish, or thus you mock it. How, in stripping it, you more invest it. Every man indeed most often do so near the bottom run, by their own fear or sloth.
Prithee, say on. The setting of thine eye and cheek proclaim a matter from thee, and a birth indeed which throws thee much to yield.
Thus, lady, below this Lord of remembrance, you shall be of as little memory when you err. Are they almost persuaded? that he's a spirit of persuasion. Only professes to persuade the king his sons alive. 'Tis as impossible that he's undrowned as he that sleeps here swims.
I have no hope that he's undrowned.
Oh, after that, no hope! What great hope have you? No hope that way. There's another way, so I hope that even ambition cannot pierce a wing beyond. Without discovery there. Will you grant with me that Ferdinand is drowned?
He's gone.
Then tell me, who's the next heir of Naples?
Clarabelle.
She that is Queen of Tunis. She that dwells 10 leagues beyond man's life. She that from Naples can have no note unless the sun were post. The man in the moon's too slow. Till newborn chins be rough and razorable. She that from whom we all were sea swallowed, though some cast again, and by that destiny to perform an act, whereof what's past is prologue, what to come in yours and my discharge.
What stuff is this? How say you? 'Tis true, my brother's daughter, Queen of Tunis, says she is heir of Naples. Twixt which region there is some space.
A space whose every cubit seems to cry out, how shall that Clarabelle measure us back to Naples? Keep in Tunis and let Sebastian wake. Say this were death that now have seized them. Why, they were no worse than now they are. There be that can rule Naples, as well as he that sleeps. Lords that can prate as amply and unnecessarily as this Gonzalo. I myself could make a chop of as deep chat. Oh, that you bore the mind that I do. What a sleep were this for your advancement. Do you understand me?
Methinks I do.
Then how does your content tend your own good fortune?
I remember you did supplant your brother Prospero.
True. And look how well my garments sit upon me, much fitter than before. My brother's servants were then my fellows, now they are my men.
But for your conscience.
Aye, lady, where lies that? If it were a kite, it would put me to my slipper, but I feel not this deity in my bosom. 20 consciences that stand twixt me and Milan, candy be they, and melt ere they molest. Here lies your breath, brother, no better than the earth he lies upon. If he were that which now he's like, that's dead, whom I, with this obedient steel, 3 inches of it, can lay to bed forever, while you, doing thus, to the perpetual loop I might put this ancient morsel, this Sir Prudence, who should not upbraid our course. For all the rest, they'll take suggestion as a cat laps milk. They'll tell the clock to any business that we say befits the hour.
Then Coulsdon, friend, shall be thy president. As thou gost Milan, I'll come by Naples. Draw thy sword. One stroke shall free thee of the tribute which thou payest, and I, the queen, shall love thee.
Draw together, and when I rear my hand, do you the like to fall it on Gonzalo.
But one word.
My master, through his art, foresees the danger that you, his friend, are in, and sends me forth, or else his project dies, to keep them living. Whilst you here do snoring lie, open-eyed conspiracy his time doth take. If of life you keep a care, shake off slumber and beware. Awake, awake.
Then let us both be sudden.
Now, good angels, preserve the king.
Why, how? Wait. Why are you drawn? Wherefore this ghastly looking?
What's the matter?
Whilst we stood here securing your repose, we heard a hollow burst of bellowing, like bulls or even lions. Did it not wake you?
I heard nothing.
Oh, it struck my ear most terribly.
'Twas a din to fright a monster's ear, to make an earthquake. Sure, it was the roar of a whole herd of lions.
Heard you this, Gonzalo?
Upon mine honour, sir. There was a humming. A strange one, too, which did awaken me. I shaked you, sir, and cried. As mine eyes opened, I saw their weapons drawn. There was a noise, that's verily. 'Tis best we should be on our guard, or that we should quit this place. Let's draw our weapons.
Lead off this ground. Let's make further search for my poor son.
Heaven preserve him from these beasts, for he's sure in the island.
Prospero, my lord, shall know what I have done. So, king, go safely on to seek thy son.
All the infections that the sun sucks up from bogs, fens, and flats on prosper fall, and making by inch meal a disease. His spirits here, yet I need must die. For they'll not hinge, pitch me in the mire, fright me with urchin shows, nor lead me like a firebrand in the dark out of my way, unless he bid them. But for every trifle are they set upon me. Sometimes, like apes that mouth, chatter at me and often bite me. Then like hedgehogs that lie tumbling in my way and mount their bricks at my footfall. Sometimes I wow with others. It's me, bringing wood in slowly. I thought that, perchance he will not mind me. Oh. Here's neither bush nor shrub to bear on any weather at all. Another storm brewing. I hear it sing in the wind. You're the same black cloud. You're a huge one. Looks like a foul bombard that sheds liquor. If I should thunder with you before, and there's nowhere to hide my head. You're the same cloud, but I'm choosing for by pailfuls. What have we here? A manner of fish. Dead or alive? Oh, fish. Oh, he smells like fish. Oh, very ancient and fish-like smell, a kind of not of the newest gorge on. Oh, strange fish. Oh. Were I even, as I once was, I had got this fish painting, not a holiday fool there, that will give a piece of silver. There, amongst the makes a man, a very strange piece there makes a man. When they wouldn't give a doit for a leave a lame beggar, they lay out 10 to see a dead eagle. Naked, like a man. With things like arms. Oh, my God. Hold it, mother. I do now hold forth my opinion. This is not a fish, but an iron that had lately suffered a thunderstroke. Down. That storm has come again. Oh, our best way is to hide under this gabardine. There is no other shelter hereabouts. Misery acquaints a man with strange bedfellows. I'll hereby shroud to the dregs of the storm I'll pass. Ooh.
I shall no more to sea, 'tis till I die ashore. This is a very scurvy tune to sing at a man's funeral. Well, here's my comfort. The master, the swabber, the boatswain and I, the gunner and his mate, loved Noel, Meg and Marion and Marjorie, but none of us cared for Kate. For she had a tongue with a tang, would cry to a sailor, "Go hang!" She loved not the savour of tar or of pitch, yet a tailor could scratch her ere she did it. Let her see, boys, and let her go hang! This is a scurvy tune too, but here's my comfort. Do not torment me! What's the matter? Have we devils here? Do you put tricks upon us with savages and men of Ind? Ha! I am not scared drowning to be afeard now of your forelegs, for it hath been said, as proper a man as ever went on 4 legs could not make him give ground, and it shall be said so again, while Stefano breathes and nostrils. Spirit torments me. This is some monster of the isle with 4 legs. That hath, as I take it, an egg. Where the devil should he learn our language? I will give him some relief, if it be but for that, if I can recover him, and keep him tame, and get latents with him. He's a present for any emperor that ever trod on neat's leather. Ha ha! Do not torment me. I pray thee, I'll bring my wood home faster. He's in his fit now and does not talk after the wisest. He shall taste of my bottle. If he have never drunk wine afore, it will go near to remove his fit. If I can recover him and keep him tame, I will not take too much for him. He shall pay to him that hath him, and that soundly. Now does me yet but little hurt.
trembling. Now prosper works upon thee.
Come, on your ways. Open your mouth. Here is that which will give language to you, cat. Open your mouth. This will shake your shaking, I can tell you. And that soundly. You cannot tell who's your friend. Open your chops again.
I should know that voice. It should be. But he is drowned. And these the devils. Oh, defend me.
4 legs and 2 voices. A most delicate monster. His forward voice now is to speak well of his friend. His backward voice is to utter foul speeches and to detract. If all the wine in my bottle will recover him, I will help his egg. Come. Yum, yum. Amen. I will pour some in thy other mouth.
Stefano?
Doth thy other mouth call me? Mercy, mercy, this is a devil and no monster. I will leave him. I have no long spoon.
Stefano! Stefano! If thou be Stefano, speak to me and touch me, for I am Trinculo. Be not afeard. Thy good friend Trinculo. Oh.
If thou beest Trinculo, come forth. I will pull thee by the lesser legs. If any beast Trinculo's legs, these are they. Thou art very Trinculo indeed. How camest thou to be the siege of this moon calf? Can you bench Trinculos?
I took him to be killed by a thunderstroke. But I hope thou not drowned, Stefano. I hope thou not drowned. It's a storm overblown. I hit me on the dead moon calf guaranteed for fear of the storm. And now I lie, Stefano. Oh, Stefano, do get pardon. Escape.
Oh, do not turn me about. My stomach is not constant.
These be fine things indeed. And if they be not sprites, that's a brave god and bear celestial. I will kneel to him.
How didst thou escape? How camest thou hither? Swear by this bottle how thou camest hither. I escaped upon a butt of sack, which the sailors threw overboard. By this bottle, which I made of the bark of a tree, with my own hands, since I was cast ashore.
I swear upon that bottle to be thy true subject, because the liquor is not earthly.
Here, swear then how thou escapest.
Swim ashore, man. Like a duck. I can swim like a duck. I'll be sworn.
Here, kiss the book. Though thou canst swim like a duck, thou art made like a goose.
Oh, Stefano! Oh, hast there any more of this?
The whole buckback. My cellar is in a rock by the by the seaside, where my wine is hid. How now, moon calf? How does thine egg?
Hast thou not dropped from heaven?
Ah, out to the moon, I do assure thee. I was the man in the moon when time was.
I have seen thee in her, and I do adore thee. My mistress showed me thee, and thy dog, and thy bush.
Come, swear to that. Kiss the book. I will furnish it along with new contents. Swear.
By this good light, this is a very shallow monster. I have feared him.
a very weak monster, a man in the moon, a most poor, credulous monster, a well-drawn monster in good suit.
I'll show thee every fertile inch of the island, and I'll kiss thy foot.
By this light,
Prithee, be my god.
Come on then, down and swear.
I swear to be thy true subject, and I will kiss thy foot.
By this light is a drunken and perfidious monster. When God to sleep, you'll rob your bottle.
Come, kiss.
Surely all the best springs, and I'll pluck thee berries. I'll fish for thee, and I'll get thee wood enough. A plague on the tyrant that I serve. I'll bear him no more sticks. But follow thee, thy wondrous man.
By this light is most ridiculous monster to make a wonder of poor drunkards.
I prithee, let me show thee where crabs grow. And I, with my long nails, will give thee piglets. I'll show thee a jay's nest, and instruct thee how to snare the nimble marmoset. I'll bring thee to clustering filberts. Sometimes I'll get thee young scannels from the rock. Wilt thou go with me?
Oh, I prithee now lead the way, without any more talking. Fellow drinker, the king and all our company else being drowned, we will inherit here. Here, bear my cup. Trinculo will fill him by and by again.
Farewell, master! Farewell, farewell!
Oh, a drunken monster, a howling monster.
I'll make for fish, nor fetching firing at requiring, nor straight trenching, nor wash dish. Bang, bang, cannibal, as a new master, get a new man. Freedom, high day! Freedom, high day, high day, freedom! Freedom, high day, freedom!
No afraid monster, lead the way.
There be some sports are painful, and in their labour delighting them set off. Some kinds of baseness are nobly uncommon, Most poor matters point to rich ends. This, my mean task, would be as heavy to me as odious. But the mistress which I serve quickens what's dead and makes my labours pleasures. Oh, she is 10 times more gentle than her father's crab, and he's composed of harshness. I must remove some thousands of these logs. Upon sore injunction. My sweet mistress weeps when she sees me work, and says such baseness never had like executor. I forget that these sweet thoughts do even refresh my labours most business when I do it.
Alas now, I pray you work not so hard. I would the lightning had burnt up these logs that you enjoin to pile. Pray set it down and rest you. When this burns will weep for having wearied you. My father is hard at study. Pray now rest yourself. Be safe for these 3 hours.
Oh, most dear mistress, the sun will set before I shall discharge what I must strive to do.
If you'll sit down, I'll bear your logs the while. Pray give me that. I'll carry it to the pile.
No, precious creature. I'd rather crack my sinews, break my back, than you should such dishonour undergo while I sit lazy by.
It will become me as well as it does you. And I should do it with much more ease, for my goodwill is to it, and yours it is against.
Poor worm, thou art infected. This visitation shows it.
You look wearily.
No, noble mistress. 'Tis fresh morning with me when you are by at night. I do beseech you, chiefly that I may say in my prayers, what is your name?
Miranda. Oh, my father, I've broken your hest to say so.
Admired Miranda. Indeed, the top of admiration. Worth what's dearest to the world. Full many a lady I have eyed with best regard, and many a time the harmony of their tongues hath into bondage brought my too diligent ear. For several virtues I have liked several women, but never with such ill soul, but some defect in her did quarrel with the noblest ratio and put it to the foil. But you, oh you, so perfect and so peerless, are created of every creature's best.
I do not know one of my sex, no woman's face remember, save from my glass mine own, nor have I seen more than I may call men than you, good friend, and my dear father. What features are abroad I am skilless of, but my modesty, the jewel in my dower, I would not wish any companion in the world but you, nor can imagination form a shape beside yourself to like of. But I prattle something too wildly, and my father's precepts so very deep forget.
I am, in my condition, a prince, Miranda. I do think a king, well, I would not so. I would no more enjoy this wooden slavery than suffer the flesh fly blow my mouth. Hear my soul speak. The very instant that I saw you did my heart fly to your service. There resides to make me slave to it. It is for your sake that I am this patient logman.
Do you love me?
Oh heaven, oh earth. Bear witness to this sound and crown with kind event if I speak true. If hollowly invert what best is moded me to mischief, I beyond all else limit the world who love, prize, honour you.
Oh, I'm a fool to weep at what I'm glad of.
Their encounter of two most rare affections, heavens rain grace on that which breeds between them.
Wherefore weep you?
At mine unworthiness, which dare not offer what I desire to give, and much less take what I shall die to want. But this is trifling, and all the more it seeks to hide itself. Hence bashful cunning, and prompts me plain and holy innocence. I'm your wife if you will have me. If not, I'll die your maid. To be your fellow you may deny me, but I'll be your servant whether you will or no.
My dearest mistress, and I thus humbly ever.
My husband then?
I, with a heart as willing as bondage our freedom. Here's my hand.
And mine with my heart in it. And now farewell, till half an hour hence.
1,000,000.
So glad of this as they I cannot be, who are surprised withal. But my rejoicing at nothing could be more. I'll to my books, for yet 'tis supper time. I must prepare much business appertaining.
Therefore, bear up and board. Servant monster, drink to me!
Servant monster, folly of this island. They say there are but 5 of us on this isle. We are 3 of them, the other 2 be brain like us, the state daughters.
Drink, servant monster, when I bid thee. Thy eyes are almost set in thy head.
Where would they set out? To be a brave monster indeed, they were set in his tail.
My mad monster had drowned his tongue in sack. For my part, the sea cannot drown me. I swam ere I could recover the shore. 35 leagues off and on. By this light, thou shalt be my lieutenant monster, or my standard.
Your lieutenant if you list, he's no standard.
Will not run, monsieur monster.
Nor go neither, but you'll lie like dogs and say nothing neither.
Mooncalf, speak once in thy life if thou beest a good mooncalf.
How does thine honour? Let me lick thy shoe. I'll not serve him. He's not violent. Oh, thou liest, most ignorant monster! Oh, I case to jostle the constable. Why, thy debauched fish, thou! Oh, was there a man as proud as I and got in her as drunk as I? Would thou be a... Oh, how he mocks me! Wilt thou let him, my lord? Oh, Lord, quoth he, that a monster should be such a natural. Lo again, bite him to death, I pray thee.
Triculo, keep a good tongue in your head. If you prove a mutineer, the next tree, the poor monster's my subject, and he shall not suffer indignity.
Thank you, my noble lord. Wilt thou be pleased to hearken once again to the suit that I made to thee?
Marry, will I? Kneel and repeat it. I will stand, and so shall Triculo.
Why, as I told thee, I am subject to a tyrant, a sorcerer, that by his cunning hath cheated me of the island.
Thou liest!
Thou liest, thou jesting monkey, thou! I would my valiant master would destroy thee. I do not lie.
Triculo, interrupt him any more in his tale, and by this hand, I will supplant some of your teeth.
I say nothing!
None then, and no more. Come, proceed.
Why, I say, by sorcery he got the isle. From me he got it. If thy greatness would revenge it on him, for I know thou darest, but this thing dare not.
Oh, that's most certain.
Thou wilt be lord of it, and I will serve thee.
How now shall this be compassed? Canst thou bring me to the party?
Yea, my lord, I will yield him thee, asleep, whereas thou may knock a nail in his head.
Thou liest, thou canst not.
What a pygmy he is, yes, thou scurvy wretch. I would my noble master would give him blows and take his bottle from him. When that's gone, he'll drink north with bride, for I'll not show him where the quick freshers are.
Triculo, run into no further danger. Interrupt the monster, one word further, and by this hand, I'll turn my mercy out of doors and make a stockfish of thee.
What did I? I did nothing! I'll go farther off.
Didst thou not say he lied?
Thou liest!
Oh, do I so? Take thou that! As you like this, let's have the lie another time.
Oh, I did not get the lie! That your wits and bearing too! A post on your bottle! This can sack and drinking do! A murder your monster, and the devil take your fingers!
Come, forward with your tale. Prithee, stand fast.
After a while, I'll beat him too. Stand fire. Proceed. As I told thee, it is a custom with him in the afternoon to sleep. There thou mayest brain him, having first seized his books. Or with a log, batter his skull, or paunch him with a stake, or slit his weasand with thy knife. Remember, first to possess his books, for without them he is but a sot, as I am. Have not one spirit to command, for they all do hate him as rootedly as I. Burn but his books. Brave utensils he has, for so he calls them, which, when he has a house, he will deck with all. But that most deeply to consider is the beauty of his daughter. He himself calls her a non-parial. I never saw a woman, but only Sycorax my dam, and she. But she as far surpasseth Sycorax, as greatest the least. Is it so brave, alas? Aye, Lord, she'll become thy bed, I warrant, and bring thee forth brave brood. Monster, I will kill this man! His daughter and I will be king and queen, save our graces, and Trinculo and thyself shall be viceroys. Dost thou like the plot, Trinculo? Excellent. Come! Give me thy hand. Oh, I am sorry I beat thee. But while thou livest, keep a good tongue in thy head. Oh. Why, within this half hour will he be asleep. Wilt thou destroy him then? Aye, on mine honour!
This will I tell my master.
Thou makest me merry, I am full of pleasure. Let us be jocund. Will you troll the catch you taught me while here? At thy request, monster, I will do reason, any reason. Come on, Trinculo, let us sing. Da-da-da-da-da, we'll flout 'em and scout 'em and scout 'em and flout 'em. Thor is free. Hey! That's not the tune. What is this saying? That is the tune of our fact. I got a picture of nobody. If thou beest a man, show thyself in thy likeness. If thou beest a devil, take as thou list. Oh, forgive me my sins. He that dies pays all debts. I defy thee. Mercy upon us! Art thou afeard? No, monster! Not I! Be not afeard. The island is full of noises, sounds and sweet airs that give delight and hurt not. Sometimes 1,000 twanging instruments will hum about mine ears. Sometimes voices that, if I then had waked after long sleep, will make me sleep again. That in dreaming, the clouds methought would open and show riches ready to drop upon me. And when I waked, I cried to dream again. This will prove a brave kingdom to me, where I will have my music for nothing. Ha! When Prospero is destroyed, that shall be by and by. I remember the story.
The sound goes further off. Let's follow and have to do our work.
Lead, monster. We'll follow. I wish I could sing his favourite. He lays it on.
We'll count. I'll follow, Stefano.
I can go no further. My old bones aches. Is a maid's trodden deep by false rights and meanders. By your patience, I needs must rest me.
Oh Lord, I cannot blame thee, who am myself attached to weariness to the dulling of my spirits. To sit down and rest. Even here will I put off my hope, hidden no longer for my flash. He is drowned whom thus we stray to find, and the sea mocks our frustrate search on land. Well, let him go.
I'm right glad that he is so out of hope. Do not form reports to go the purpose that we resolve to beg.
The next advantage we will take thoroughly.
Let it be tonight. For now, they are oppressed with travail, and they will not, nor cannot, use such vigilance as when they are fresh.
I say tonight, no more.
What harmony is this? My good friends, ah!
Marvellous sweet music.
Give us, kind keepers. Heavens, what were these?
A living drollery. Now I will believe that there are unicorns, that in Arabia there is one tree, the phoenix grove, one phoenix at this hour reigning there.
I'll believe both. And what does else want credit? Come to me, and I'll be sworn 'tis true. Travellers never did lie, though fools at home condemn them.
If in Naples I should report this now, would they believe me? If I should say I saw such islanders, for certes these are people of the island, who, though they are of monstrous shape, yet note their manners are more gentle kind than of our human generation. Well, you shall find many, nay, almost any.
Honest Lord, thou hast said true, for some of you there present are worse than devils.
I cannot too much muse at such shapes, such gestures, such sounds expressing, although they want the use of tongue, a kind of excellent dumb discourse.
Praise in departing.
They vanish strangely.
No matter, since they have left their viands behind, for we have stomachs. Would please you to taste what is here?
Not I.
Faith, sir, you need not fear. When we were boys, who'd have thought that there were mountaineers dew-lapped like bulls, whose throats had hanging out of wallets of flesh, or that there are such men whose heads stood in their breasts as now we find. Each putter out of 5 for 1 shall bring us good warrant of.
I will stand to and feed, all of my loves. Sister, my lord the Duke, stand to and do as we.
You are three shapes of sin, whom destiny that hath to instrument this lower world and what is in it, the never-surfated sea hath caused to belch up you, and on this island where man doth not inhabit, you mongst men being most unfit to live, I have made you mad, and even with such like valour men hang and drown their proper selves. You fools! I and my fellows are ministers of fate, the elements of whom your swords are tempered, and may as well wound the loud winds, or with bemocked axe stabs kill the still closing waters, as diminish one dow that is in my pool. My fellow ministers are like, invulnerable. If you could hurt, your swords are now too massy for your strengths and will not be uplifted. But remember, for that is my business to you, that you three from Milan did supplant good Prospero, exposed unto the sea which hath requited him and his innocent child, for which foul deed the powers delaying, not forgetting, have incensed the seas and shores, yea, all the creatures against your peace. Thee of thy son along so they have bereft, and do pronounce by me a lingering perdition, worse than any death can be at once, shall step by step attend you and your ways, whose wrath to guard you from, which here in this most desolate isle else falls upon your heads, is nothing but heart's sorrow, and a clear life ensuing.
Bravely the figure of this harpy hast thou performed, my Ariel, a grace it had devouring. Of my instruction hast thou nothing bated in what thou hadst to say. So, with good life and observation strange, my meaner ministers their several kinds have done. My high charms work, and these, my enemies, are all knit up in their distractions. They now are in my power, and in these fits I lead them, while I go visit young Ferdinand, whom they suppose is drowned, and his and my loved darling.
In the name of something holy, sir, why stand you in this strange stare?
Oh, it is monstrous. Monstrous! Methought the billows spoke and told me of it. The winds did sing it to me, and the thunder, that deep and dreadful organ pipe, pronounced the name of Prosper. It did base my trespass. Therefore, my son in the ooze is bedded, and I will search for him deeper than e'er plummet sounded, and with him there lie muddied.
But one defeat at a time, can't fight their legions over.
I'll be my second.
All three of them are desperate. Their great guilt, like poison given to work a long time afterwards, now begins to bite the spirits. I do beseech you that are of suppler joints, follow them swiftly, and hinder them from what this ecstasy may now provoke them to.
Follow, I pray you.
If I have too austerely punished you, your compensation makes amends. For I have here given you 1/3 of mine own life, or that for which I live, who once again I tender to thy hand. All thy vexations were but my trials of thy love, and thou hast strangely stood the test. Here, before heaven, I ratify this my rich gift. Ferdinand, do not smile at me that I boast her off. For thou shalt find she will outstrip all praise and make it halt behind her.
I do believe it, against an oracle.
Then, as my gift and thine own acquisition worthily purchased, take my daughter. But if thou dost break her virgin knot, before all sanctimonious ceremonies, may with full and holy right be ministered, then no sweet aspersions will the heavens let fall to make this contract grow, but barren hate, sour-eyed disdain, and discord will bestrew thy bed with weeds so loathly that you shall hate it both. Therefore take heed, as Hymen's lamps shall light you.
As I hope for quiet days, fair issue and long life, with love as 'tis now. The murkiest den, the most opportune place, the strongest suggestion that our worst genius can, shall never melt mine honour into lust, to take away the edge of that day's celebration, when I shall think, or Phoebus' steeds are floundered, or night kept chain below.
Fairly spoken. Sit then, and talk with her. She is thine own. What? Ariel, my industrious servant. Ariel.
What would my potent master? Here I am.
Thou and thy meaner fellows, thy last service did worthily perform, and I must use you in such another trick. Go, bring the rabble, or who may give thee power, here to this place. Incite them to quick motion, for I must bestow upon the eyes of this young couple some vanity of mine art. It is my promise, and they expect it of me.
Presently?
With a twink.
Before you can say come and go, and breathe twice and cry so, each one tripping on his toe will be here, with a mop and mow. Do you love me, master? No?
Dear, my delicate Ariel. Do not approach till thou dost hear me call.
Well, I can see you.
Look thou, do not give dalliance too much the rein. The strongest oaths are straw to the fire and the blood. Be more abstemious, or else good night your vow.
I warrant you, sir, the white cold virgin snow upon my heart abates the ardour of my liver.
Well, now come, my Ariel. Bring a corollary rather than want a spirit. Appear, and pertly, no tongue, all eyes, be silent.
Ceres, most bounteous lady, thy rich leaves of wheat, rye, barley, vetches, oats and peas, thy turfy mountains where live nibbling sheep, and flat meads thatched with stover them to keep, thy banks with pied and twilled brims, which spongy April at thy Hespe trims, to make cold nymphs chaste crowns, and thy broom groves, whose shadow the dismissed bachelor loves, being last-lorn, thy pole-clipped vineyard, and thy sea-marge sterile and rocky hard, where thou thyself dost err, the queen of the sky, whose watery arch and messenger am I, bids thee leave these, and with her sovereign grace, here on this grass plot, in this very place, to come and sport, her peacocks fly amain. Approach, rich Ceres, her to entertain.
Hail, many-coloured messenger that ne'er dost disobey the wife of Jupiter, who with thy saffron wings upon my flowers diffused honey drops, refreshing showers, and with each end of thy blue bow dost crown my bosky acres and my unshrugged down, rich scarf to my proud earth. Why hath thy queen summoned me hither to this short grass green?
A contract of true love to celebrate, and some donation freely to estate on the blessed lovers.
Tell me, heavenly bow, if Venus or her son, as thou dost know, do now attend the queen, since they did plot the means that Dusky did my sister got, her and her blind boy scandaled company, I have forsworn.
Of her society be not afraid. I met her deity cutting the crowds towards Paphos, and her son doth drawn with her. Here thought they to have done some wanton charm upon this man and maid, whose vows are that no bedright shall be paid, till Hymen's torch be lighted, but in vain. Mars' hot minion is returned again, her waspish-headed son has broke his arrows, swears he will shoot no more but play with sparrows, and be a boy right out.
Highest queen of state, great Juno comes, I know her by her gait.
How doth my bounteous sister? Go with me to bless this twain, that they may prosperous be, and honoured in their issue. Honour, riches, marriage blessing, long continuance and increasing, hourly joys be still upon you. Juno sings her blessings on you.
Earth increase, boys and plenty, barns and garners never empty, vines with clustering bunches growing, plants with goodly burden bowing, Spring come to you at the farthest in the very end of harvest. Scarcity and want shall shun you. Ceres' blessing so is on you.
This is a most majestic vision, and harmonious charming. May I be bold to think these spirits?
Spirits, which by my art I have from their confines called, to enact my present fancy.
Let me live here ever, so rare a wonder, Father, and a wonder makes this place paradise.
Sweet, now silence. Juno and Ceres whisper seriously, there's something else to do. Hush and be mute, or else our spell is gone.
You nymphs, cogniers of the winding brooks, with your sedged crowns and ever harmless looks, leave your crisp channels, and on this green land answer your summons. Juno does command. Come, temperate nymphs, and help to celebrate a contract of true love. Be not too late. You sunburned sickle men of August weary, come hither from the furrow and be merry. Make holiday. Your rye straw hats put on, and these fresh nymphs encounter every one in country footing.
Conspiracy of that beast Caliban and his confederates against my life. The minute of their plot is almost come. Well done, avoid! No more!
This is most strange. The violence of passion works too strongly.
Never till this day saw I him so touched with anger, so distempered.
You do look, my son, in a moved sort, as though you be dismayed. Be cheerful. Our revels now are ended, and these, our actors, as I foretold you, were all spirits, and are melted into air, into thin air, and like the baseless fabric of this vision, the cloud-capped towers, the gorgeous palaces, the solemn temples, yea, the great globe itself and all which it inherit, shall dissolve, and like this insubstantial pageant faded, leave not a rack behind. We are such stuff as dreams are made of, and our little life is rounded with a sleep. Sir, I am vexed. Bear with my weakness. My old brain is troubled. Be not disturbed at my infirmity. If you be pleased, retire unto my cell, and there repose. A turn or two I'll walk to still my beating mind.
We wish your peace.
Come with a thought. I thank thee, Ariel. Come!
Thy thoughts I cleave to. What's thy pleasure?
Spirit, we must prepare to meet with Caliban.
Aye, my commander. When I presented Ceres, I thought to have told thee of it, but I feared lest I might anger thee.
Say again, where didst thou leave these varlets?
I told you, sir. They were red hot with drinking, so full of valour that they smote the air for breathing in their faces, beat the ground for kissing of their feet, yet always bending towards their project. Then I beat my tabor, at which, like unbacked colts, they pricked their ears, advanced their eyelids, lifted up their noses as they smelt music. So I charmed their ears, that calf-like they my lowing followed through toothed briars, sharp furze, prickling gorse and thorns which entered their frail shins. At last I left them in the filthy mantled pool beyond your cell, there dancing up to the chins that the foul lake overstunk their feet.
This was well done, my bird. Thy shape invisible retain thou still. The trumpery that's in my house, go, bring it hither, for stale to catch these thieves.
I go.
A devil, a born devil, on whose nurture can never stick, on whom my pains humanely taken. Lost, all lost, quite lost, and as with age his body uglier grown, so his mind cankers. Well, I will plague them even to roaring. Come, hang them on this line.
hear a footfall. Now I'm in his cell. Monster! This fairy, which you say is a harmless fairy, hath done little better than play the jack with us.
Monster, I do smell horse piss, and that my nose is in great indignation.
So is mine. Do you hear, monster? If I should take a displeasure against you, look you!
Thou wert but a lost monster.
Good my lord, give me thy favour still. Be patient, for the prize I'll bring thee to shall hoodwink this mischance. Therefore, speak softly. All's hushed as midnight yet.
Aye, but to lose our bottles in the pool!
There is not only disgrace and dishonour in that monster, but an infinite loss.
There's more to me than my wetting, yet this is your harmless fairy, monster.
I will go fetch off my bottle, though I be over ears for my labour. Prithee, my king, be quiet. Seest thou here? This is the mouth of the cell. No noise, and enter. Do that good mischief that will make this island thine forever, and I thy caliban, for I thy footlicker. Give me thy hand. I do begin to have bloody thoughts.
Oh, King Stefano! Oh, peer! Oh, worthy Stefano! Look what a wardrobe I got here for this!
Let alone, thou fool, it is but trash!
Oh, ho, ho, monster! We know it belongs to a frippery! Oh, King Stefano!
Trinculo, put off that gown by this hand. I'll have that gown!
Thy grace shall have it!
Frobsy, drown this fool! What do you mean to dote on such luggage? Let it alone! Do the murder first. If he wakes from toe to crown, he'll fill our skin with pinches, make us strange stuff. Oh, be you quiet, monster! Mistress Lyke, is not this my jerkin? Now's the jerkin under the line. Now, jerkin, you are like to lose your hair. Approve a ball jerkin.
Do. We still by the line and level. Aims like your grace.
Oh, I thank thee for that jest. There's a garment for it. Which shall not go unrewarded while I am king of this country. Steal by thine endeavour is an excellent parson pay. There's another garment for it.
Oh. Here, monster, put some lime in your fingers and away with the rest.
I'll have none on't. We shall lose our time, and all be turned to barnacles, or to AIDS foreheads monstrous low. Monster, lay to your fingers and help to bear this away where my hogshead of wine is, or I'll turn you out of my kingdom. Go to! Carry this.
And this.
I. And this.
Hey, Mountain! Hey!
Silver, there it goes! Silver!
Fury! Fury! There, tyrant! There! Go! Charge my goblins that they grind up their joints with dry convulsions, shorten their sinews with an aged cramps, and more pinch-spotted make them than pard or catamountain.
Hark they roar!
Let them be hunted soundly. At this hour lies at my mercy all mine enemies. Shortly shall my labours end, and thou shalt have the air at freedom. For a little follow, and do me service. battle ahead. My charms crack not, my spirits obey, and time goes upright with his carriage. How's the day?
On the 6th hour, at which time, my lord, you said our work should cease.
I did say so, when first I raised the Tempest. But say, spirit, how fares the king and his followers?
Confined together in the same fashion as you gave in charge, just as you left them all prisoners, sir, in the lime grove which weather fends your cell. They cannot budge until your release. The king, his sister, and your brother abide all three distracted, and the remainder mourning over them, brimful of sorrow and dismay. But chiefly, him that you termed, sir, the good old Lord Gonzalo. His tears runs down his beard like winter's drops from eaves of reeds. Your charm so strongly works them that if you now beheld them, your affections would become tender.
Dost thou think so, spirit?
Mine would, sir, were I human.
And mine shall. Hast thou, which art but air, a touch, a feeling of their affliction, and shall not I myself, one of their kind, that relish all as sharply passion as they do, not be kindlier moved than thou art? But with their high wrongs I am struck to the quick. Yet, with my nobler reason gainst my fury, I do take part. The rarer action is in virtue than in vengeance. They being penitent, the sole drift of my purpose doth not extend a frown further. Go, release them, Ariel. My charms I'll break, their senses I'll restore, and they shall be themselves.
I'll fetch them, sir.
Ye elves, of hills, brooks, standing lakes and groves, and ye that on the sands with printless foot chase the ebbing Neptune and do him fly when he comes back. You demi-puppets that by moonshine do the green sour ringlets make, whereof the ewes not bite. And you, whose pastime is to make the midnight mushrooms that rejoice to hear the solemn curfew, by whose aid, weak masters though ye be, I have bedimmed the noontide sun, called forth the mutinous winds, and twixt the green sea and the azured vault set roaring war. To the dread rattling thunder have I given fire, rifted Jove's stout oak with his own bolt. The strong-based promontory have I made shake, by the spurs plucked up the pine and cedar. Graves at my command have waked their sleepers, oped and led them forth by my so potent art. But this rough magic I hear of June. And when I have required some heavenly music, which even now I do, to work mine end upon their senses, this airy charm is full, I'll break my staff, bury it certain fathoms in the earth, and deep and it ever plummet sound, I'll drown my book. Solemn air, and the best comforter to an unsettled fancy, cure thy brains, now useless, boiled within thy skulls. There stand, for you are spell stopped. Holy Gonzalo, honourable man, mine eyes, even sociable to the show of thine, fall fellowly drops. This charm dissolves apace, and as the morning steals upon the night, melting the darkness, so their rising senses do begin to chase the ignorant fumes that mantle their clearer reason. Oh, good Gonzalo, my true preserver, and most loyal sir, to him thou followest, I will pay thy graces home with word and deed. Most cruelly hast thou, Alonso, used me and my daughter. Thy sister was a furtherer in this act. Thou art pinched for it now, Sebastian. Flesh and blood. You, brother mine, that entertained ambition, expelled remorse and nature, and with Sebastian would here have killed your king. I do forgive thee, unnatural though thou art. Their understanding begins to swell, and shortly the approaching tide will fill the reasonable shore, which now lies foul and muddy. And not one of them yet looks on me, or would know me. Go, Ariel, fetch me the coat and rapier from my cellar. I will discase me, and here myself present, as was sometime Milan. Go quickly, spirit, thou shalt ere long be free.
Where the bee sucks, there suck I. In a cowslip's bell I lie. There I couch while owls do cry. On the bat's back I do fly. After summer merrily. Merrily, merrily shall I live now, under the blossom that hangs on the bough.
That's my dainty Ariel. I shall miss thee, but yet thou shalt have freedom. So. To the king's ship, invisible as thou art. There shalt thou find the mariners asleep under the hatches. The master and the boatswain, being awake, enforce them to this place, and presently, I prithee.
I drink the air before me, and return or ere your pulse twice beat.
Oh, torment, trouble, wonder, and amazement inhabits here. Some heavenly power guide us out of this fearful country.
Behold, Sir King, the wronged Duke of Milan, Prospero. And for more assurance, it is a living prince does speak with thee. I embrace thy body. And to thee and thy company, I bid a hearty welcome.
Whether thou beest he or no, or some enchanted trifle to abuse me, as late I have been, I not know. Thy pulse beats as of flesh and blood. And since I saw thee, the affliction of my mind immense, in which I fear a kind of madness held me. This must crave, and if this be at all, a most strange story. Thy dukedom I resign, and do entreat thou pardon me my wrongs. But how should Prospero be living, and be here?
First, noble friend, let me embrace thine age, whose honour cannot be measured or confined.
Whether this be, or be not, I'll not swear.
You yet do taste some subtleties of this isle, that will not let you know things certain. Welcome, my friends all. But you, my lord and lady, were I so minded, I could here pluck his highness frowns upon you, and justify you traitors. At this time, I will tell no tale.
The devil speaks in him.
No. For you, most wicked sir, whom to call brother would even infect my mouth. I do forgive thy rankest faults, all of them, and require my dukedom of thee, which I know perforce thou must restore.
If thou beest Prospero, give us particulars of thy preservation, how thou hast met us here, who 3 hours since were wrecked upon this shore, and where I have lost... How sharp the point of this remembrance is, my dear son,
Sir, I am woe for it.
Irreparable is the loss, and patience says it is past her cure.
I rather think you have not sought her aid, for whose soft graces I for the like loss have her sovereignty, and rest myself in.
The like loss?
Aye, sir, for I have lost my daughter.
A daughter? Oh, heavens! That they were living both in Naples, the king and queen there. Oh, that they were. I wish myself were muddied in that oozy bed where my son lies. But when did you lose your daughter?
In this last tempest. Now, howsoever you be jostled from your senses, know for certain that I am Prospero, and that very duke that was thrust forth of Milan, and on this shore where you were wrecked, most strangely landed to be lord of it. But no more yet of this. For 'tis a chronicle of day by day, not a relation for a breakfast, and not befitting this first meeting. So, you are welcome. This foresells my court. Here have I attendants few, and subjects none abroad. Pray you look in. My dukedom, since you have given me again, I will requite thee with as good a thing. At least bring forth a wonder to content ye, as much as me my dukedom.
Sweet lord, you play me false.
No, my dearest love, I would not for the world.
Yes, for a score of kingdoms you should wrangle, and I call it fair play.
If this prove a vision of the island, then one dear son shall I twice lose.
O most high miracle.
Though the seas threaten, they are merciful. I have cursed them without cause.
Now, let all the blessings of a glad father compass thee about. Arise, say how thou comest here.
Oh, wonder, how many goodly creatures are there here? How beauteous mankind is. Oh, brave new world that has such people in it.
'Tis new to thee.
What is this maid with whom thou wast at play? Your oldest acquaintance is but 3 hours. Is this the goddess that has severed us and brought us thus together?
Sir, she is mortal, but by mortal providence, she is mine. I chose her when I could not ask my father for his advice, nor thought I had one. She is daughter to this famous Duke of Milan, who I have often heard renowned, but never seen before, from whom I have received the second life, and second father this lady makes unto me.
Ah, I am hers. Oh, but oh, how oddly will it sound that I must ask my child forgiveness.
There, stop, sir. Let us not burden our remembrances with a heaviness that's gone.
I have inly wept. Oh, I should have spoken ere this. Look down, you gods, and on this couple drop a blessed crown, for you have chalked forth the way which has brought us hither.
Yeah, I say amen, Gonzalo.
Was Milan thrust from Milan, that his offspring should become kings of Naples? Oh, rejoice beyond a common joy, setting down with gold on lasting pillars. In one voyage did Claribel, her husband, find at Tunis, and Ferdinand, her brother, found a wife where he himself was lost. Prospero, his kingdom, in a poor isle, and all of us ourselves where no man was his own.
Give me your hands. Let grief and sorrow still embrace his heart that doth not wish you joy.
Be it so. Amen. Look, sir, here is more of us. I prophesied. If a gallows were on land, this fellow could not drown. How now, blasphemy that swears grace on board? Not an oath on shore? Have you no mouth on land? What's the news?
Best news that e'er I had, sir. We have found our king and company. And the next is that both of them left for 3 hours split. It's now tight in yard, bravely rigged as ever we first put to sea.
Sir, all this service have I done since I went.
My tricksy spirit.
These are not natural events. They grow from strange to stranger. Say, how camest you hither?
I would if I thought I were awake, sir. For we were all dead asleep, and I know not how, and kept under hatches. There was all terror manner of sounds, of shrieking and howling and roaring and jingling of chains, a diversity of sound, one more horrible than the other. And then it went quiet. And we did awake. And there in our trim we beheld our royal ship. Oh, our captain did Catherine. And then we were divided and brought moping hither.
Was it well done?
Bravely, my diligence, thou shalt be free.
This is as strange a maze as e'er men trod. And there is in this business more than nature was ever conduct of. Some oracle must rectify our knowledge.
Sir, my liege, do not infest your mind with beating on the strangeness of this business. At picked leisure, which shall be shortly, single, I'll resolve of every these happened accidents. Till when? Be cheerful, and think of each thing well. Come hither, spirit. Set Caliban and his companions free, untie the spell. How fares, my gracious sir? there are yet missing of your company some few odd lads that you remember not.
Every man shift for all the rest, and let no man take care of himself for all his good fortune. Coraggio, funny monster! Coraggio!
If these big true spies which I wear on my head, then he's a goodly sight.
Setibos, these be brave spirits indeed. How fine my master is. I'm afraid he will chastise me.
What things are these, my Lord Antonio? Or money by 'em?
Very like. One of them is a playing fish, and no doubt marketable.
Mark but the badges of these men, my lords, then say if they be true. This misshapen knave, his mother was a witch, and one so strong she could control the moon, make flows and ebbs, and deal in her command without her power. These three have robbed me, and this demi-devil, for he's a bastard one, hath plotted with these two against my life. Two of these fellows you must know and own. This thing of darkness, I acknowledge mine.
I shall be pinched to death.
Is not this Stefano, my drunken butler?
He is drunk now, but where has he wine?
And Trinculo, he's reeling right. Where should they find this grand liquor that has gilded them so? How comest you in this pickle?
Oh, I've been in such a pickle since we last met that I shall not fear me out of my bones. I shall not fear fly blowing.
Why, how now, Stefano?
Oh, do not touch me! I'm not Stefano, but a crab!
You would be the king of the Isles, Cyril.
I should have been a sore one then.
This is as strange a thing as e'er I looked upon.
He is as disproportioned in his manners as his shape. Go, Cyril, to my cell. Take with you your companions. As you look to have my pardon, trim it handsomely.
Aye, that I will. And I'll be wise hereafter, and seek for grace. What a thrice double ass I was, to take this drunkard for a god, and worship this dull fool.
Go to, away!
Hence, and bestow your luggage where you found it.
Or stole it, rather.
Sir, I do invite your highness and your train to my poor cell, where you shall take your rest for this one night, which part of it I'll waste in such discourse as I not doubt will make it go quick away, the story of my life and the particular accidents gone by since I came to this island. And in the morn, I'll bring you to your ship, and so to Naples, where I have hopes of seeing the nut of these our dear beloved solemn eyes. And thence, retire me to my Milan.
I long to hear the story of your life, which must take the ear strangely.
Sir, I'll deliver all, and promise you calm seas, auspicious gales, and sail so expeditious that you shall catch your royal fleet far off. My aerial ship, that is thy child. Then to the elements be free, and fare you well. Please you, draw near.
Now my charms are all o'erthrown, and what strength I have's mine own, which is most faint. Now 'tis true, I must be here confined by you, or sent to Naples. Let me not, since I have my dukedom got and pardoned the deceiver, dwell in this bare island by your spell, but release me from my bands, with the help of your good hands. Gentle breath of yours my sails must fill, or else my project fails, which was to please. Now I want spirits to enforce, art to enchant, and my ending is despair, unless I be relieved by prayer, which pierces so that it assaults mercy itself and frees all faults. As you from crimes would pardoned be,